If your dad has been struggling to lose weight, I want to talk about a personal journey, not in my weight loss journey, but really how this particular story and trajectory of my life radically changed the way that I go about doing things. And what I'm referring to is doing things alone. I'll quickly tell you a small story just for a second here. Last weekend, I got asked to run a marathon, and they told me Saturday night, do you want to run it on Sunday? And I said that, dude, I don't have any shoes. I haven't been training, blah, blah, blah. Cliff notes are the story was I committed to it. I got to the starting line at 5:30. The race wasn't until 7, but I had to get on a plane at 12, so I had to get there early and get started because I didn't know how long it was gonna take it because hadn't been running. So I started running, I ran a mile out, and then I got a mile out. There was no cones, there was no direction, I didn't know where to go, so I freaking got pissed off. I turned around, I went back to the truck, I was like, this is dumb, I don't wanna get hurt, I don't even know where I'm going, all the negativity into my head. And I'm a pretty disciplined guy, but here's the shift, my brother. I got back to the truck, I said, let me just reevaluate. I went back to the starting line at 7 o'clock and I said, let me just see what happens if I put the left foot after the right foot. Because anytime you invest into anything, that's what I'm gonna talk about today, is just because you invest into a coaching program or whatever, nothing changes. It's built on the compounding habits of putting the left foot after the right foot, showing up over and over and over again. And guess what? When I started, when I didn't know what the path was at the end, because you have to focus on where you're at before you get to the end, all along the way, when I am putting the left foot after the right foot, there were signs. You can do this. Who's gonna carry the boats? Let's go. Support, encouragement for when things got hard, for when you wanted to slow down, for when the half marathon loop went this way, then you still have to go that way. There's people all along the way. So what if for you, instead of continuing to do your weight loss journey alone, what if you got some support? And I get it that it's scary. I made several investments in my own personal business, personal growth development that didn't work out. Several, but guess what? You use those as a learning opportunity, and that's what makes it a part of your story when you freaking make it. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy, it's hard, but you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way for you, for your future, and for your family. When I first wanted to create our fitness app, I had the idea for years. I was writing workouts on pieces of paper. I was printing stuff out and handing out binders for people. And I moved all throughout the country. I moved from Houston to Fort Lauderdale to Portland, Oregon to San Diego, California. Now here I am in Nashville. And every time I moved, I love to help people. I wanted to create an online community so I could help people. I didn't know how to do it though. So I was just writing workouts online, putting them on a blog post and giving them out. But I wanted to make it easier because everybody was telling me that, oh, I gotta go to YouTube and figure out what it is. I'm spending more time going to YouTube than I am actually doing the workouts. So I was, let me build an app so that all you have to do is click start and you can follow along. Well, I met with an app developer and they said it was gonna be, I don't know, $300,000-$400,000, and I got discouraged. 6 months goes by, met with another developer, moved to another city, feeling encouraged. Let me do it now. Well, guess what? Opportunity cost is a real thing. Now, the next time I met with somebody, price went up. I'm still stuck in the same position, not being able to do the things that I wanted to do. Met with another developer, even more expensive. Met with another developer, more expensive. Years are going by. Your years are going by. You're missing out on energy, memories, and experiences by not being the best version of yourself, not being healthy, not losing the weight with your kids, with yourself, with your career. You're skipping out and you're missing that because you're not the best version of yourself. So I met with the developer years again later, still trying to do that, still wanted to accomplish the goal. And they said it was gonna be X price. And I said, I think I could do that. Let me talk with my wife and we'll do it. My wife said, absolutely not, no way. This is too expensive. We can't afford this. We gotta save up for a house. There will come a point in time in your journey where you recognize that you have to do this for freaking you, because you're never truly going to put your family at risk. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in the vision and you believe in what you're trying to accomplish, you'll do whatever it takes. So that's what I did. Was she frustrated? Was she a little bit fearful? Yeah, but I did it anyway because I knew that I had to put myself, my family into a better position. And had I not done that, as I tell my guys all the time, you have to get a pair of matches out, visually, freaking light the matches on fire, and that boat that's holding you back to go back to the safe place, you gotta burn it. You gotta burn the boats, and you gotta go all in on the future. When you do that, there's no turning back. The first time I ever invested into a marketing company, after I had all these other, call them failed attempts. I don't look at them as failures, look at them as an opportunity. But there was lots of coaches that didn't work out, lots of mentors, programs that I've been a part of that didn't work. Met with another guy, and this was probably 8 times more expensive than anything I'd ever done. But I had already told myself that I have had enough and I'm going to do it no matter what. So when the price was 8 times more than I wanted to, yeah, it scared me. It did. But I already knew that I needed to change. I knew that I had to find a way out, a way to do it, excuse me. And guess what? When you invest into a coaching program, it's not done. Like I said, it's about what you do after that. But what happens is the pressure, the financial pressure, put all that weight onto me, but also I got to share that with my coach who wants me to win. In your weight loss journey, I want you to win. People want you to win. That alone, when you're investing into a 2.0 version of yourself who wants it for you. And it's up to you to step into that role, to take the next step, the small step, the left foot after the right foot. Because if you can do that, you cannot fail. And a part of any coaching program that I've been in the past, some of them will have group coaching call times, and I can't make that time because of this, and I can't make that because of this. When it matters enough to you, you'll find a way. You'll make the adjustments. You'll make the sacrifices. I know that I did, and that you're gonna have to if you wanna make the changes. Or you can continue to stay complacent, negotiating with yourself, saying that you're giving it your best, but you know when you are and you know when you're not. And most of the time, it's because you're basing things off of emotion and how you feel, as opposed to acting, thinking, doing, believing like the guy who is already where you want to be. For me to become the 2.0 version of myself, I had to do them differently until they became my new normal. When you start to make your habits your new normal, this will become who you are. It's not about weight loss, man. It's about identity. It's about who you're becoming and what you do when you follow through with those things. And I tell my guys all the time in the program, don't look at the end, look at where your feet are, and get laser focused on one thing at a time. Quit breaking promises to yourself. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. If you're gonna commit to something, make it small. Make it small because I want you to win and I want you to stack wins. And if you can make it small, you do it. You start to do that, and then that becomes your new normal. You don't need to make all these big announcements, and I'm doing this now, and go tell all your friends, go tell your wife all this stuff and that and the other, because they're gonna look at this as just another phase. You're excited, you're motivated, you wanna do it this time. Quit breaking promises to yourself, put it down. I have my guys write a 6-month letter to themselves on day 1, because guess who you're letting down if you don't actually do it? It's not just yourself, it's your future and your family, because you put it in stone. You said you wanted to become X. When you read that, that's what you really want. And if you're not moving towards that, number 1, you gotta ask for help, you gotta ask for support, you gotta ask for encouragement. How do I get there? But if not, it's kind of sad saying you wanna accomplish something, be somebody that you believe can happen. You wrote it down, but you don't actually do it. This right here, what I'm doing right now, walking while I'm working. You find ways to make things happen for you. Boring, it's simple, but it's just the truth, man. There's nothing more mentally exhausting knowing that you're capable of more, capable of doing something, and you don't actually do it. And as you start to prioritize your fitness and your health and your energy and prioritizing your family will start to get the best of you when you get home, not the rest of you. So if you're on a weight loss journey, man, and you're waiting to feel ready, it's not gonna happen. You have to start small. You have to start tired. You have to start unmotivated, because you're not that person yet. To become that person, you have to do the exact opposite of everything that you're doing right now. You say, oh, well, this is the way that I always do things. I always talk to my wife about this before I make any decision. I hate to break it to you, but you are a product of what you have been doing for the last 10, 15, 20 years. Of course your wife wants you to be the healthier, better, more energy, more patient, best version of yourself. That's what you committed to on the altar. But you're not living up to that anymore, most likely, if you're overweight and you're breaking promises to yourself. I hate to tell it to you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but that's the truth. You're the one who's got to step up. You're the one who's got to look in the mirror, because life is like a boomerang, man. It always comes back to you. And I'm not perfect by any means either, but I at least face my facts, and I at least try to push forward. And there's a difference in trying and doing. Push forward, embrace it. This is not a big sales pitch about nothing. This is just the reality and the facts that no matter who you are, how disciplined you are, we all have the internal battles. Some of us just stay stuck in them. There's no difference in the guy that loses the weight and the guy that doesn't lose the weight. The other one just does not quit. And if you have an interest in being a part of my program and getting the structure, the support, the community of men who want to better themselves, I don't like being around quitters. If you're tired of breaking promises to yourself and you do want to start following through and you're willing to show up for yourself because you want to better you, your future, and your family, then yeah, let's have a conversation and be ready to hold the line for yourself. Because all I'm going to do is hold up the mirror to you of you telling me everything that you want to accomplish in that 6 months. And then it's up to you to draw a line in the sand, to light the matches and say, I'm going for it. And there's a big, big, big difference in saying, I'm going for it. Because this isn't a pep talk. When I talk to you, it's not going to be a pep talk. Because when the gun goes off, if you start running that way, which is the only thing that you know how to do right now, you already know what that path looks like. You have to be willing and be open to a different perspective. Because what if you're supposed to be going that way? You gotta be willing to make some changes, my brother. Check out the description down below if you're ready to make that change.